Coming up on this edition of SuTV News, North Dakota State University comes together after a tragedy.
A proposed change to higher education policy results in mixed opinions.
And in sports, men's basketball wins their bracket buster game.
This is SuTV News, and it starts now.
Hello and welcome to SuTV News. I'm Ryan Borstelman.
And I'm Allie Weary. Tragedy has struck the North Dakota State University campus. Lauren Peterson, Jordan Plale, Danielle Reniger, and Megan Sample. 4 NDSU freshmen were killed in a motor vehicle accident Monday.
Returning to campus from the Twin Cities area, the car of 4 were traveling and slid across the median of I-94 and collided with an SUV. All 4 were pronounced dead at the scene. SuTV News' Ryan Nelson takes a look at how administration has reacted to this devastating situation.
So my heart sank.
This, the reaction of many NDSU administrators to the loss of 4 of our very own.
I was in dismay. I could not believe it. I could not believe it.
Something very new to even our most experienced administration.
I have never, ever faced a tragedy of this magnitude since I've been here at NDSU. I'm talking about over 30-some years at this institution.
However, through tragedy comes proof that North Dakota State University is truly one big family.
You know, in a very dark situation like this, I think that's one little bit of light that comes in is that, you know, right away on Monday, I mean, people were offering up such great support and just kind of bringing campus together.
They're grieving together, they share their happiness together sometime, and getting together in this tragedy, they're getting together and sharing stories and talking about their wonderful memories. And that's what family is all about.
What is next for NDSU?
Certainly just trying to take it one small step at a time and really making sure that no one's left behind in this deal. We just want to make sure that we can all come together and support one another.
The university will move on and their memories will linger on. And because even though they were here for a short period of time, we want to believe that they made that impact.
However, one thing is certain, this will be an ongoing process for a very long time.
There are common things that everybody goes through, but they may not go through them at the same time period, in the same time period, and they may not go through them in the same order.
Although the university will move on, the memory of these 4 students will never fade.
These girls just, they lit up a room. I mean, they were just a vibrant part of the NDSU family, and so I think they're alone. They've set a legacy, and they've touched and they've affected people.
We are not going to forget them forever. We don't do that. We will every once in a while we'll reminisce. We talk stories. We tell stories about them. And maybe there are certain things, lessons that we learned from them.
Ryan Nelson, SuTV News.
Students on campus continue to deal with the tragedy.
Those closest to them shared with us what they will remember most.
Didn't seem real. It still doesn't. It's just crazy how it can happen so fast.
Everyone kind of gravitated towards them. Just, I mean, if you're out and about, you know, on the town, you always kind of wanted to be with them. They knew how to have a good time, and, you know, it's just, when they're having fun, you know, you're going to have fun with them, and that's where everyone wanted to be.
When you went to the same place as them, it was just, they made the atmosphere more fun. They were just, that's what kind of girls they were.
They brought life to the room that they walked into, and how they were friends with everyone and really nice to everyone. Just really got along well with everybody that they talked to.
I'm just going to miss their presence. I mean, I saw these people pretty much every day, and it's definitely sad that they're not around anymore. I mean, nobody should ever be dead at 18 years old.
I just really looked up to them because they just always they would be able to talk to anybody.
You just miss seeing them, obviously, being around them. They're just so much fun.
They were nice
nice. They were genuine. Never once have I heard anything bad said about any of them. They never said anything bad about anyone.
When they walked in, like when you went to the same place as them, it was just, they made the atmosphere more fun. They were just, that's what kind of girls they were.
They lit up the room every time they walked in. Everyone had a great time. They were just beautiful, and they will be forever missed. Funeral services for Danielle, Megan, Lauren, and Jordan will be held this weekend.
You're watching SuTV News. We'll be right back after this.
With MapBus being the easiest, greenest, and most efficient way to get around North Dakota State University, there are tons of reasons to MapBus.
I'm at bus to get to class on time. I don't have to use my car, waste gas, or waste time finding a parking spot.
I'm at bus because their hybrid buses not only help our community and our state, but they're also helping our world.
I'm at bus not only to get around campus, but to get around the Fargo community. The 25 different routes get me anywhere I need to be.
There are many reasons to Matt Bus. Come find yours.
Join the herd. Be Matt Bus strong.
Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich. Delivery guys.
Total is $472. How do you want to pay for that today?
I have a few different cards I want to put it on.
There is an easier way to do this. Book charging and rentals, only at the NDSU bookstore. SuTV News is being brought to you by Stop and Go. Stop and Go. We're always there.
News. North Dakota State University's request for a 0.5% tuition increase has been rejected by the State Board of Higher Education.
Thursday, the board decided to freeze NDSU's tuition while allowing a 2.5% increase for all other four-year universities. President Dean Brashani believes some programs and services could be cut without the increase.
NDSU is taking extra steps to ensure the quality of graduating education majors. SuTV News' Riley Durkin has more.
NDSU, MSUM, and Valley City State have all teamed up for a teacher effectiveness initiative. This $5 million project, funded by a grant from the Bush Foundations, is designed to improve the preparation of teachers who are new to the workforce.
Another piece of this grant that's so important is that we are extending our preparation beyond NDSU, beyond the four-year degree, into another 4 years of support after they graduate. And so for their first 4 years in the teaching profession, they are welcome to professional development, to support, to mentoring as part of being an NDSU graduate.
But this project extends past just wanting teachers to be more effective. Dr. Duffield has a bigger concern.
Research tells us that as many as 50% of new teachers don't make it through their first 5 years of teaching, that they leave within the first year, second year, third year, and then by the fifth year, almost 50% of new teachers leave. And so we're trying to prevent that. We're trying to offer a support system that not only helps those teachers stay in the field, but also be successful while they're there.
For SuTV News, I'm Riley Durkin.
This is the project's 4th year in effect.
A proposal by President Obama to change funding and admission policies to higher education is prompting mixed opinions. In his State of the Union address, President Obama expressed interest in controlling rising tuition costs. He followed by describing higher education as an economic imperative that every family should be able to afford. SuTV News reporter Aaron Berner gathered some feedback from university faculty.
Higher education is an important part of the American system. But with about 40% of students at four-year institutions not graduating, President Obama is taking steps to try to improve that system.
He wants to increase funding towards Pell Grants, for example. He wants to provide further federal support for community colleges and the important vocational work that they do.
The president also wants to slightly reduce federal aid for schools that don't control tuition costs and shift it to those that do.
That hurts us as an institution because, as we all know, NDSU is not adequately and equitably funded from our state and State Board of Higher Education.
But the proposition is only a small part of a larger plan.
And when you take a look at what he's proposing in the 2013 budget, for example, the largest departmental increase would be for the Department of Education. He's talking about increasing funding for education programs at multiple levels, but including higher education significantly.
And while graduation rates should not be ignored, focusing only on the numbers could prove to be even more harmful to the higher education system.
They could be pushing people through when they shouldn't be pushed through the system. And so anytime you focus on a number like that, there are potential dangers. And so I think you'd want to watch out for that. And so institutions need to be careful about that. And I think the administration also needs to be careful about focusing on a number like a graduation rate.
The Obama administration is also developing tools to help students choose colleges based off of graduation and student debt statistics. This is Aaron Berner with SuTV News.
Students with loans are graduating on average with more than $25,000 in debt.
Well, coming up next, we're going bowling with sports anchor Jake Cheetah after we take a look at this week's campus calendar.
There's always something happening on the NDSU campus. Catch it all on SuTV News on Cable 1, Channel 14. Brought to you in part by Shields and Stop and Go.
Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich. Delivery guys.
Welcome back. It's election year and the political scene is fired up.
Sidewalk Stampede went out to see what you want out of our next president.
Well, I just say like a lot of people on campus are politically affiliated with certain parties, but they don't understand exactly like the problems that we have economically and fiscally. I mean, sure, we can all say we want more money for student loans, more money for development of the college. Realistically, every dollar we spend has to be paid for, and right now we don't have the money to pay for it. So I think deficit reduction is absolutely the largest part, the most important part of this election.
What I think students mainly want from the next president is mainly more options for like funding for themselves, increase like different loans, maybe lower interest on them, something that won't like cripple us as soon as we get out of college, and hopefully something to increase job market. We'd all like to have a job right out of college, and hopefully a job that we're actually really enjoy and interested in. I think it'd be wise to have actually open up and try to put more jobs into the economy.
With over 250 student organizations on campus, it's hard to know which options you have available. SuTV News reporter Jake Cheetah goes into the field to hang out with students in the wild.
A lot of students visit the Rec and Outing Center in the basement of the Union for fun, but what a lot of students don't know is that the bowling alley in the basement of the Union is home to the NDSU Bison Bowlers. So how often do you guys practice?
We like to practice 3 times a week.
For how long?
Roughly 2 hours at a time.
Oh. If you're taking a girl out bowling as a first date, what do you do to impress her?
Chicks dig the big hook, bro.
Chicks dig the big hook?
First destroy her and screw her.
Don't fall.
Don't fall? And how do you prevent that?
Don't walk on the lane, it's slippery.
You step on it, I've seen a lot of people fall.
So, in that Justin Bieber music video where he's dancing on the bowling lanes?
Yep.
That shouldn't happen?
That doesn't happen.
Bieber, defying the laws of physics.
Yeah.
I took my shot at shooting spares. But the penalty is harsh. I missed a single pin spare. I lost count. What am I at? 8, 9, 10. And another miss. 1, 2. How come nobody else is doing any push-ups?
Don't miss.
Oh. And more push-ups. 1,003. 1,004. Do you hear me counting? I'm over 1,000. But that's not the only spare tradition these bowlers have. One finger in the air. What's that mean?
If he misses this, he owes everybody a drink.
A beverage, okay.
Yep, a beverage of their choice.
Oh my, oh my. To end practice, I anchored my team against the team that would be heading to the tournament.
You gotta match whatever he does, Cheetah.
With my team up by just 2 pins going into the last frame, and seeing the other team throw a strike, the pressure was definitely on. I think you can hear my heart on the mic. Uh-oh. And the verdict?
If you strike, we're gonna win. All you gotta do. All right, you need 6.
Thank you, thank you. And so that ends my bowling career. So, Coach, you think I would have made the team?
He had a chance.
Yes! Or maybe not. Jake Cheetah, reporting for SuTV News.
The bowling team will be competing in the sectional competition March 10th and 11th in St. Louis, with the top 16 teams continuing on to the national championships. I'll tell you, the sectional championships, the national championships, the bowling team looks like they're going places.
They've been having a great season. They've had a few great seasons in a row now, making the playoffs, making runs at national championships.
That's good.
You did a pretty good job yourself there.
Yeah, I have some skills. Coming up in SuTV Sports, we take a closer look at a Bison women's basketball player.
$472. How do you want to pay for that today?
I have a few different cards I want to put it on.
There is an easier way to do this. Book charging and rentals, only at the NDSU bookstore.
With MapBus being the easiest, greenest, and most efficient way to get around North Dakota State University, there are tons of reasons to MapBus.
I MapBus to get to class on time. I don't have to use my car, waste gas, or waste time finding a parking spot.
I MapBus because their hybrid buses not only help our community and our state, but they're also helping our world.
I MapBus not only to get around campus, but to get around the Fargo community. The 25 different routes get me anywhere I need to be.
There are many reasons to MapBus. Come find yours.
Join the herd. Be MapBus strong.
There's always something happening on the NDSU campus. Catch it all on SuTV News on Cable 1, Channel 14. Brought to you in part by Shields and Stop and Go.
SuTV Sports is being brought to you by Shields. Ready for your next big adventure? Welcome to Shields.
Welcome back. A huge win for the Bison at home as they took on the Western Michigan University Broncos in a bracket buster game. With just 3 games left in the regular season and 3rd place on the line, the NDSU men did not disappoint. This one was played in front of a crowd of more than 5,000. Early in the first half, Taylor Braun with the assist to Lawrence Alexander, who hits the 3 to give the Bison an early lead. A couple minutes later, Mike Douglas of the Broncos hits a 3 of his own. He had 21 points in the game. With 5 minutes left, Joel Lindberg gets the assist to Jordan Aberg, who gets the dunk. He had 2 dunks in the first half. With time running out in the first half, Mike Felt, being Mike Felt, he hits a 3-pointer. NDSU trails 34-28 at the half. Early in the second half, Lawrence Alexander with a circus shot. He'd put NDSU up by 1. They would not trail again. Later in the game, Dylan Hale hits a 3 right here, puts NDSU up by 10. They would win this one 86-73. Bjorklund had 21 points and 6 rebounds. To the women's game now as they traveled to Frost Arena in Brookings, South Dakota. Early in the first half, Janae Burrich hits a layup. She had 6 of the Bison's first 8 points. With 14 minutes left in the first, Ashley Ide hits a 3-pointer to give the Jackrabbits a lead. Later on, Jill Young gets in on the 3-pointers. SDSU had 9 3-pointers in the first half. Early in the second, Ashley Ide added again. She gets the jumper. She had 17 points in the game. SDSU runs away with this one 88-43. They had a season-high 15 3-pointers in the game. Well, a positive note for the Bison women's basketball team has been the continued growth of center Janae Burrich. The 6'5" junior from Roseville, Minnesota, has developed into a dominant inside presence in the Summit League. SuTV's Ryan Nelson explains.
In the lane to Burrich, a spinning move, the left-hand leader, good.
If we have seen one thing over the career of Janae Burrich, it has been growth.
She's making the strides. She's developing with the potential that we saw ahead of her when we recruited her out of high school.
Burrich, a 6'5" junior from Roseville, Minnesota, started in 16 games as a freshman, averaging over 6 points and 3 rebounds a game. This season, Burridge has started 26 of 27 games, averaging over 10 points and 7 rebounds a game. And she knows the increase is all due to that valuable early experience.
Experience at this level is the biggest thing that helps you out. It's what gains your confidence, and if you don't get a whole lot of playing time, you get it in practice, but it's just not quite the same. So just knowing how to play in those games, knowing how to play in those situations has helped me a lot.
She's learned really how to use her body against kind of those bigger, more athletic kids, and now the different types of post play that she sees in the Summit League.
Burridge is one of 3 Bison, averaging over 10 points a game this season, definitely easing the pressure.
Our scoring balance is good, better than it's been in the past.
Successful teams are like the balanced teams. We need everybody, because if one person doesn't play as well, or if they are guarded really well, then you need the other ones to be able to step up and play, and it's important to a team.
Although she has seen plenty of recent success, Janae knows there is still work to be done to keep things moving forward.
Yeah, keep working on the little things, just the strength and the skill and just confidence, and working on all the little parts of my game. And this summer will be another great summer for me to get better, as well as all my teammates.
She needs to just make the biggest commitment that next year is going to be, that year where she stays consistent night in and night out.
Ryan Nelson, SuTV Sports.
Burridge has been named to the Capital One Academic All-American third team. Burridge and the Bison close out the regular season at home against Western Illinois and IUPUI this weekend. The Bison men's baseball team got its first ever victory against a ranked Division I opponent this past weekend. NDSU traveled down to number 20 Arizona for their season opener. Luke Anderson pitched 7 innings of 2-hit ball, and reliever Kyle Kingsley pitched a scoreless 8th and 9th. Kyle Kleinendorst hit his first collegiate home run in the 5th inning that tied the game at 2. A 6-run 8th inning sealed the victory for the Bison. NDSU finished the series with a 1-2 record. The team will start a 4-game series with Northern Colorado this weekend. The men and women's track and field teams look to continue perfection in the Summit League Indoor Championships. Since joining the Summit League in 2008, both the men's and women's teams have won the indoor championships every year. The women go into the championships ranked 66th in the nation, with Southern Utah being the only other team ranked at 120th. The men will be competing without Dante Smart, who holds 2 Summit League records this season. Both teams will be traveling to Fort Wayne, Indiana this weekend.
We were going for our 5th outdoors, and we got beat by University of South Dakota. And we haven't competed against them since we got beat by them.
Well, it's really good to see that these teams are off to great starts, just like our fall sports were. Our spring sports are doing great as well.
It's impressive. National championship in football, and we're looking pretty good in spring so far.
For sure. Baseball, softball, track, wrestling, everyone's doing well.
Can't wait to see how it all ends out. Stick with us. We'll be back for more right after this.
With MapBus being the easiest, greenest, and most efficient way to get around North Dakota State University, there are tons of reasons to MapBus.
I'm at bus to get to class on time. I don't have to use my car, waste gas, or waste time finding a parking spot.
I'm at bus because their hybrid buses not only help our community and our state, but they're also helping our world.
I'm at bus not only to get around campus, but to get around the Fargo community. The 25 different routes get me anywhere I need to be.
There are many reasons to Matt Bus. Come find yours.
Join the herd. Be Matt Bus strong.
Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich. Delivery guys.
Total is $472. How do you want to pay for that today?
I have a few different cards I want to put it on.
There is an easier way to do this. Book charging and rentals, only at the NDSU bookstore.
Thank you for joining us. Be sure to pick up your copy of The Spectrum and check us out at www.ndsubin.com.
And we leave you with one last look tonight of NDSU's 4 New Angels.
They were nice, they were genuine. Never once have I heard anything bad said about any of them. They never said anything bad about anyone.
When they walked in, like when you went to the same place as them, it was just, they made the atmosphere more fun. They were just, that's what kind of girls they were.
They lit up the room every time they walked in. Everyone had a great time. They were just beautiful and they will be forever missed.